So I'm speaking with Selma, who came to see me. How long ago was it, Selma, you came to see me for
I came to see
hiking?
you, I should know the date, but was it November the 30th,
November
2019?
30th.
Around that time. I know it was just before my dad's birthday.
So how long have you been smoke free then? Um,
So November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 6 months.
6 months.
6 months, yeah.
Wow.
So
Because
that's the longest.
you were
Yeah.
smoking. I mean, I think if I remember rightly, you were smoking all of your life, or not all of your life, but it's been around you for a lot of your life.
I was a very young smoker. I remember being in primary school and smoking.
Wow.
I don't know my exact age, but I know by the time I was in secondary school,
Yeah.
um, I was already buying cigarettes on a daily basis.
Wow. So you don't actually know kind of life without smoking it, I guess, up until.
No, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, I grew up, back then it was different. So, my nan smoked, my dad smoked, my granddad smoked a pipe. I remember going into Lewisham Hospital and, people could smoke in hospitals. It was crazy.
Wow.
um, so yeah, it's always been, yeah, it was just like drinking water in our house, You
Yeah.
didn't offer people a glass of water without a cigarette, you get both.
So does it feel strange, like 6 months without smoking? How does it feel?
I must admit, during lockdown, more so during lockdown, there's been a couple of times, because my husband's still smoking, although he has cut down massively because obviously I'm not smoking. There are a couple of times where I think, oh, I miss that, but I don't miss it in the sense that I want it. It's like a memory. So, I'll have memories as a child going down to like a stream in Ladywell and doing fishing, and be like, oh, I remember we used to do that as a kid. So it's that kind of thought. So, I
Yeah.
remember I used to smoke. Oh yeah, I remember I actually did like it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't make me want to go and have one. It
Yeah.
literally is just a memory of something that I once did.
Yeah.
Pretty weird.
That's so. What I mean, in 6 months, what else have you noticed has improved?
Taste.
Yeah.
Taste has improved massively. Um, in the past, when I used to try and give up smoking, um, I my colleagues would actually just say I was just the worst person ever. I was just so kind of angry and mad and stressed and whatever. But I don't have none of that.
Yeah.
I remember being in difficult situations at work and literally saying to people, sorry, I need to just go out and have a cigarette and just calm down because I just can't cope. And I would leave the building and just have a cigarette. So I don't have any need. I haven't replaced it with anything or anything like that. It's just gone.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not aware of replacing it with anything. I don't believe I have. My clothes that I was wearing in November still fit me, so I haven't replaced smoking with having a packet of digestive biscuits every night or anything like that. It's just it literally is just a memory.
Well, I think that's because a lot of the smokers, because stop smoking hypnotherapy is the only kind of therapy that deals with the kind of fact that you think that you like cigarettes. All the rest of the therapies are about trying to kind of replace that nicotine with something else, whereas this is one that just breaks a habit. So you don't actually, if you get it right, you don't actually need to replace it with anything. You just get on with your life.
Exactly. Because I remember coming to you on the first day, and I literally chain smoked in the car all the way up. And I was thinking, well, if this is going to be my last day of smoking, if this is really going to work, then I'm going to have as many cigarettes as I can before I actually get to you. And I did have a couple of cigarettes left in the box as well. But even when I came out, normally when I get in my car, the first thing I would do is light up a cigarette. And I didn't. I just got in the car and drove and met up with my mate. And even she said to me, you really don't want one? I said, no. And although she's a non-smoker, she's only ever known me to smoke, and she's known me for like years. And and I just said to her, no, it's really weird. I really just don't want one. It's not even in my mind.
So how long were those 2 cigarettes left in your packet? Did you just bin them that day, or did they?
No, I think my husband smoked them in the end.
Okay.
Because we share the car, so he probably smoked them, but they definitely weren't smoked by me. And I think the real test of time for me was obviously packing up in November. I sadly had a funeral to go to, I think about a week after I packed up smoking. And even then, I didn't have one. And then I went through Christmas and New Year's Eve, and drinking plenty and stuff. And normally in the past, when I've tried to pack up smoking with like patches or nicotine or whatever, I've been okay for like a month, 2 months, but then put me in a drinking situation and that's it. I would automatically start, asking people for cigarettes, like not strangers on the street, but like, people that I knew smoked. And then eventually I would just go and buy a packet, and then that would just put me back on that trail. And I didn't even do any of that on Christmas Eve, or all over the Christmas events. Even going out social with people at work. I had a couple of friends say to me, "You seriously packed up?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, no way. It's like, yep, done it. Finally did it.
Surprise yourself with that?
I guess I did, but at the same time, it was just like, why did it take me so long to do it this way?
Yeah.
If I'd done it like 10 years earlier, it would have saved me like quite a few quid.
Hypnotherapy is a last resort for a lot of people. Why do you think that is?
I must admit, when because a colleague of mine at work said to me, I think I came back into the office, and he used to be in my team, so he's seen me stop, start, and the last time he saw me, I'd actually stopped, and that was a couple of years before. I say a couple of years, but because we're always working from home, we didn't see each other that much. But the last time he saw me, I'd actually tried stopping that same year in like 2019, and then I saw him again. He said to me, "Have you had a cigarette?" He said, "You started smoking again?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I have." And he was like, "Oh, Selma, what are you doing?" I said, I know. I said, "Don't lecture me." And I think that was around the summertime. And he said to me, "You need to try hypnosis." And I was like, "Yeah, right." And I just walked off. And as soon as he said hypnosis, I just thought of, I'm not in control. Somebody else has got control of my mind. I don't know what's going to go on. It's going to, it was really kind of like daunting for me. And then he planted that seed in my head, and then I started researching it. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to give this a go, because nothing else has worked. I've got nothing else I can try. There's no point in me, going cold turkey, because that just doesn't work. All the other products on the market haven't worked. My husband even packed up smoking for a long, long time. And even with him not smoking, and, I still didn't stop. And if anything, I ended up sneaking behind his back and having a cigarette, and he thought I'd stop. So like, no, stop me smoking. You can smell it from the people in the pub. I was like a teenager again. But sadly for him, he ended up starting again, and then we were both smoking back together. But so for me, I think what put me off is just being out of control, just wondering what happens when when you are under that hypnosis.
Yeah.
And I suppose just silly paranoia stuff that you see on TV and whatever.
Yeah. The dance like a chicken is normally the
one.
Yeah.
But it was the best ever, really, I believe.
How did you find the session?
Sorry?
How did you find the session?
It went really quick, because I think we was there for a while, weren't we?
It's 2 hours.
We had the chat beforehand, and then we done the hypnosis. And that bit went really quick. It was like only 5 minutes of my life had passed away. And I felt kind of, how can I say, I felt different. I even now, I don't know how or why I felt different, but I did feel different inside. I don't know if it's because, mentally in my head, something had been cleared or cleansed or whatever. I'm not spiritual or anything like that, but I just felt different. I don't know why, but I remember I just felt different when I left. There was something that had changed within me, but I didn't know what it was. So yeah, it was good.
Do you think about smoking now?
No, again, sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I used to do that. You know, just like getting on a roundabout or a swing in a park, you know, playing in the streams. It's just one of those things that I used to do.
What about like the days after?
I remember the smell of it. I remember, I remember everything I used to enjoy about it.
Yeah.
But that's all it is, literally just a memory.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's amazing. You know, we must feel chuffed.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, 6 months on, that's the longest ever.
Yeah.
I mean, by now I would have fallen down and I'd be buying cigarettes every day. I would have started buying cigarettes months ago.
Yeah. Well, the idea is once your brain has that once you've kind of got that clarity at quite a subconscious level, that kind of part of your brain is going to chuck tantrums to make you have it. It's just silenced. It's a really clever process. What would you say to anyone else who was desperate to give up smoking, smoking for years, thinking I can't do it, it's not going to work?
I've suggested to 2 of my friends to do it, but they haven't taken the plunge yet. I actually mentioned it to my husband the other day, and I said to him, look, you need to stop. And he's like, yeah, I know, I need to stop. And I don't want to be one of those ex-smokers that lectures everybody.
Yeah.
But I said to him, I think, you need to try and maybe hypnosis. And he goes, funny that. He said, I was thinking that. But I'm not going to push him because obviously, he needs to do it in his own time. He needs to feel ready in himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he's going to go down the route of packing up, I'm going to say to him, look, forget about buying patches. Just go and pay for hypnosis and have done with it and see if that helps. If you're thinking about doing it, and just give it a go. It's
about the same price anyway when you look at, how many packets of patches you'd have to invest in to complete the course. It's about the same price anyway. Fantastic. Well done. Here you are. 6 months later. It's I have to say when I hear from clients whose partners still smoke as well, I think that's just incredibly powerful stuff, that it's still to some extent around you, isn't it?
I mean, he still smokes. I've got a friend that at work that I hang about with quite a bit. She still has a cigarette. I've got my other friends from at home that, they still, I actually still have quite a lot of smokers around me. Being a smoker, I remember when I was a smoker, it felt like I was the only one that was smoking. But now that I'm not smoking, it's like everyone in my immediate circle is smoking. And I'm the only one that's not smoking, which is really, really weird.
Yeah.
Really strange.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it's really, really impressive. And thank you for taking the time to kind of record this testimonial, and hopefully it will reach out to other smokers out there and let them know how simple it can be to stop with hypnotherapy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I will give my age away. I'm 52 now, I think. And to say that I have been probably smoking for, let's just say since the age of 10, I'm pretty sure I was younger than that, but if we're talking 40 years of smoking, and I started on Rothman, which are strong cigarettes, and I think 40 years on, nothing worked apart from hypnosis. So they've got to give it a go. They've got nothing to lose, really. The only thing they've got to lose is smelling of an ashtray.
That, and probably with I think we work out about a 15 a day habit. If you're buying cigarettes, costs, I think it's between £2,500 £3,000 a year to do that habit. So you won't smell like an ashtray, and you'll be able to afford a holiday every year as well.
You have to go somewhere lovely on holiday, wouldn't they?
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much for talking to me.
That's great.
And I'll be in touch.
Definitely. Stay safe.
Okay, bye-bye.